Let's move on to New Orleans Saints at Tennessee Titans. We have so many of these same storylines going on this week. And here's one with the Saints Titans. And I could have got the Saints +3 at -115 today, and I almost did. Now it would be available for me +3 at -120. And I wanted to talk it out, and I doubt it moves to 2.5 before midnight. Saints 5-3, 3-1 on the road. Titans 7-2, 3-1 at home at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. 51 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy. 11 miles per hour is the wind. We have Tennessee opening up at -3 at -105. They're now -3 at +105. Bulldogs also moved on to +105. Like Will Hill, Bet365, Sports Interaction at +100. This total opened up at 45 at -107, slightly juiced to the over at Pinnacle. It's down slightly juiced to the under, -111. Let's see if there's sharp action anywhere here. 2,181 tickets in. This is possibly going to stop me in my tracks. 64% of the tickets on the Titans, 74% of cash on the Titans. Then you have 36% of tickets on the under and 56% of cash on the under. Do I want to back Simeon here? Would I prefer to trust this Titan defense and take the under here? Let's break it down. Saints coming off a disappointing 27-25 home loss to the Falcons. They were down 17-3 going to the fourth. New Orleans rallied for 3 straight TDs in the final 8 minutes. Simeon, 25 of 41, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did lose a fumble. Kamara caught 4 passes for 54 yards, ran 13 times for 50 yards. Traquan Smith caught 3 passes for 53 yards. Deontay Harris got 6 for 52. The defense had 2 sacks and 9 quarterback hits. DB CJ Gardner-Johnson hurt his leg in the second quarter, carted to the locker room, but it's not a horrific situation, at least at this point, from what I've learned. It's just questionable. Wide receiver Ty Montgomery, defensive end Carl Grandison both missed last week's game. They're listed as questionable this week. And as most of you guys know, Michael Thomas announced on his personal Twitter that he will not be playing this year, and it looks like he needs more surgery on his ankle. Titans coming off a big 28-16 win at the Rams in their first game without superstar Derrick Henry. Tannehill, 19-27 for 143 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. A.J. Brown led the receivers with 5 catches for 42 yards. Julio Jones next with 4 catches for 35 yards. We're just going to see their statistics drop because you don't need to fill the box up against this team without Derrick Henry. Deonta Foreman ran 5 times for 29 yards. Jeremy McNichols, whom we expected to be the number one, only ran 7 times, but for 24 yards. Adrian Peterson ran 10 times for 21 yards, got a touchdown. AP back in the league. As a team, they ran 26 times for 69 yards. Amani Hooker had 12 tackles. Jeffrey Simmons was excellent. 6 tackles, 3 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. As a team, they had 5 sacks and 11 quarterback hits. Kevin Byard returned a pick to the house. David Long Jr. took one back to the Rams, too. Taylor Lewin was active, but unavailable except in an emergency. You know, it's the dark side of football. And he's not in a good way mentally, and it's sad. Very sad. Aaron Brewer. Aaron Brewer started in right guard in place of Nate Davis, and he looked pretty good. Davis is listed as questionable this week. I mean, obviously they want Davis back. Greg Maben, quarterback Greg Maben, offensive tackle Kendall Lamb, linebacker Rashawn Evans, and fullback Torrey Carter all missed the game last week. They're listed as questionable this week. Do we move on the Saints +3? You know, the more actually I wanted to talk this out to see where I would lean. The more I talk it out, the more I guess I don't really want Trevor Siemian, but feels like the Titans are going to struggle here, and Peyton can drop a defense to completely shut this team down. Let's hear what Bebsie has to say. Saints Titans.
Look, Jimmy, I feel like we're lockstep on this one. I want to back the Saints. My fear is backing Trevor Siemian. I didn't have anything good to say about him last week, even though he came in and played well. I don't have anything good to say about him this week. It's hard to lay a bet with him, although I see it being a tough spot with Tennessee. Attaboy Slaughter. I don't know. Look, I see it being a tough spot for Tennessee in that, you know, they have the Derrick Henry injury, and then they come out and they have a huge game with him out. And, you know, the run game was still terrible without him. Well, not terrible. It just wasn't any good. So I think this is a tougher spot for them this week. I don't think they have that battle cry because they won. But the Saints, I don't know. Saints coming off a loss that they definitely were not expecting. I think they're the most dangerous team in this spot. But again, you got to back Trevor Siemian.
Yeah. So maybe the play is a Titans team total under. I mean, that seems to correlate at that. Oh, but then are you worried about Siemian? And this Titan secondary is really good. Are we worried that? And I can't believe I'm actually surprised I'm saying they're really good. But Byard looks like a fucking man on a mission right now. Is it a Titans team total under that we want to focus on? The Titans team total under 23.5, juice to the under.
I think I don't know. I think that's an all right look. Problem is, I don't think Adrian Peterson is going to get better from last week to this week. Well, let's face it, the excitement around him coming back has everything to do with what he's done in his career and not what he's capable of doing right now. I honestly thought McNichols should have gotten more touches. I'm seeing in the chat that Kamara is questionable for the game, which if New Orleans doesn't have Kamara, they're pretty well screwed.
I didn't have that in my notes. Let me just double check in a couple spots. I don't have them there. Let me just keep going though, Bebsie. I'm gonna look at a couple different places here.
Well, no, I mean if there is, I'm seeing a lot from the chat. Maybe injured, FYI. That's why I've waited. Then I would say it's Tennessee or no play here. Like without Kamara, you're without your starting quarterback. You're without Alvin Kamara. Your star receiver is nowhere to be seen.
Wow.
This is a really tough spot.
If
Kamara is out, then do you bet Tennessee right now and hope that if Kamara is out, then you've beat the line?
Wow, they worked out 3 running backs today. Kerryon Johnson, Rodney Smith, and Josh Adams. Whispers that he might have hurt himself. Again, they say it could be due diligence, preparing themselves in case they need to rest Kamara. Very, very interesting. Okay. Well, I think okay, so let's say there's some nerves about Kamara, nerves about Siemian. I think that the Titans team total under at 23.5 is where we attack. And if there's any issues with Kamara or anything of that sort, then the full game under is probably the spot to attack here. Where was the cash? 2,181. Oh, yeah, they were on the Titans and the under. And what is the under done here? Let me just check this very quickly here. This Tennessee Titans under opened up at 45 and it's down to 44.5. That seems to make sense to me. Titans team total under or just full game under. I guess I probably don't want to double up and have both on. Gerald Jones says under is to play first half. Terry Walker says, Whack Prescott assuming says, Titans D really this good? Prince of the City says, speed this shit up. I have to work at 5 a.m. That's what Prince of the City says. Birdie says, I would still be on the Saints, Bebsie. If we've learned anything, you play the team the first game after a major injury. Look at what Tennessee just did Dallas 2 weeks ago. Oh, I agree. But I wouldn't be afraid to back the Saints without Kamara, in all honesty. But I want that line. I want that plus, 5 or a 2-point move at least, or whatever that's going to be. And then if that was the case, if there actually could be injury issues there, at least I can get in now on the team total under or the full game under. So I tell you this much. I'm going to move on either the Titans team total under or the full game under this evening. So that will be my first official play. I don't want to double up, but that's going to be my first spot. Bebsie has not made anything official yet at this point. Bebsie, you ready to roll on?
Yep, ready to move on.